The Donner Party. The Donner Party was a group of American pioneers traveling west to California who made the fatal mistake of taking an untested shortcut through the Sierra Nevada mountains. In late 1846, brutal snowstorms sealed them in. The mountains became a prison of ice. Food disappeared quickly. Oxen died, supplies rotted, and starvation set in. One by one, people weakened, froze, and collapsed. Survivors faced an unbearable truth. The only way to stay alive was to eat the dead. The horror was not just physical, but psychological. Families watching loved ones fade away, knowing rescue might never come. By the time help arrived, the group had been reduced to desperation beyond imagination. About half survived, but none escaped unchanged. The Andes flight disaster. Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 crashed into the Andes Mountains, leaving survivors stranded at over 11,000 feet in one of the harshest environments imaginable. They had no food, no shelter, and freezing temperatures every night. Injuries were everywhere, and death came quickly for many. As days turned into weeks, the survivors realized there was nothing left to eat. The only source of food was the bodies of passengers who had already died. The decision haunted them, but starvation gave no alternative. In the end, 2 survivors made an impossible trek across the mountains to find help, saving the remaining group. Out of 45 people, only 16 survived. The terror came from isolation, cold, and the moral nightmare of survival. The USS Indianapolis Survivors. After delivering parts of the atomic bomb, the USS Indianapolis was struck by torpedoes and sank in minutes. Nearly 900 men were thrown into the open Pacific Ocean, with almost no lifeboats. What followed was 4 days of pure horror. Under the burning sun, men suffered dehydration and saltwater poisoning. At night, the ocean became a hunting ground. Sharks circled endlessly, dragging screaming sailors beneath the waves. Some men hallucinated, drinking seawater until they died. Others simply disappeared in the dark. By the time rescue arrived, only 316 remained alive. Hugh Glass. Hugh Glass was a frontiersman exploring the American wilderness when he was attacked by a grizzly bear. The mauling was catastrophic. Flesh was torn open, bones were broken, and his body was left mangled beyond recognition. His companions believed survival was impossible. They abandoned him, leaving him to die alone. But Glass refused. Without medicine, without food, without help, he began crawling. Inch by inch, he dragged himself over 200 miles through brutal wilderness, surviving on insects, roots, and raw plants. Every movement was agony, every day a battle against infection and starvation. His survival remains one of the most terrifying examples of human endurance in history. The Franklin Expedition. In 1845, 2 British ships set out to find the Northwest Passage and vanished into the Arctic. The crew became trapped in ice, surrounded by endless frozen silence. Years passed. Evidence later revealed a slow collapse into starvation, illness, and madness. Lead poisoning weakened the men further, and the cold finished what hunger began. Skeletons were later found scattered across the wasteland. Some bodies showed signs of being cut apart, suggesting cannibalism in the final desperate months. No one survived. The Franklin expedition became a haunting symbol of the Arctic, swallowing men whole, leaving only bones and unanswered questions behind. Juliane Koepcke. In December 1971, a plane flying over Peru was struck by lightning and broke apart mid-air, sending passengers plunging into the Amazon rainforest. Juliane Koepcke, only 17 years old, somehow survived the fall, still strapped to her seat, crashing through the jungle canopy below. When she woke, she was alone, injured, disoriented, and surrounded by endless wilderness. With a broken collarbone, infected wounds, and no food or shelter, she wandered through the suffocating heat and insect-filled darkness for days, fighting exhaustion and fear as the rainforest seemed to close in around her. Maggots infested her injuries, and the isolation became its own kind of nightmare. Guided only by the belief that water would lead to people, she followed a river for 11 days until she finally found help. Her survival became a haunting reminder of how thin the line is between death and endurance in the wild.